Like, don't at me.
Don't at me. Goddamn. Don't at me. Don't at me.
Don't at me. Episode 44, take two. Take two. We made it through 43 episodes before recording didn't save. 43 episodes. Chance, you and I went through this before, man.
Yeah. I forgot what episode it was, but yeah, it happened before. It happens to the best of us.
We did a mini Mike and Chance show podcast like 5 years ago. We recorded for like an hour and 15 and it was good. And then we looked, nothing. We had to run it right back. But yeah, so I'll get into that in a minute. Of course, Jock in the house too, rocking the Pierre style shirt.
Sir, the one and only, man. You know, I gotta stay dripped out of my shit at all times. Don't at me stuff too, of course. You know what I mean? It's both a joint thing, but y'all get me, man. And, you know, shout out to all the supporters out there that's been buying my shit, fucking with me for 2 or 3 years now. Like, I appreciate y'all.
Jock been selling a lot of masks, man. You have the sales going out. They're about to sell out right now, right?
They are. Yeah, I only have like 5 more left, man. So I got to get them while it's hot. You know, it's selling out like hotcakes.
Check them out at therep.network. You go to the clothing tab. You'll be able to see all of our merch, all of Jock's Pierre style masks, shirts, all of that. And I know you have a little announcement about that later. We'll save that for the later part of the episode.
Yeah, so once again, this is something dealing with the announcement, people. So, you know, stay tuned because it's something that you don't want to miss. That's all I say about that.
All right, so if anybody's watching, they're like, wait, what happened with Gerry? Something's different. Nah, no Gerry today. We got Erica in the house. Erica, friend of the program, part of the repertoire. What's going on, Erica?
Hey guys, thank you for having me.
So people listening or watching are like, take two, what do you mean? So PSA, I'll start with this. We recorded yesterday, which was Tuesday evening. Went, hour and a half. We had some leftovers, everything. We had the whole 9. We had all kind of ideas we were bouncing around. And what I realized was I made the mistake earlier of saving on the computer. And I've typically done that. Like, I always do that. My thought process is whenever I save on the cloud, I have to save, then I have to download. It just takes a lot longer. So I'm like, all right, if I save on the computer, I'm not going to run out of space. It'll be fine. So sure enough, it starts to, convert, download, whatever it is. And it says insufficient space. I'm like, nope, that's wrong, but okay. So I delete a bunch of shit from the Zoom folder, empty recycle bin. Okay, now there should be space. Go. Cannot find file, can't convert. I'm like, wait, what? This is the file. What are you talking about?
Right.
I rush over to the recycle bin. I'm like, oh, wait, I cleared it, though, to create space. Hold on.
It's frustrating.
So I go through some whole roundabout, I'm looking at Zoom forums and all kind of shit. I find this software that helps you find stuff from your recycling bin. So I use that, and I actually download it. I extract some shit I deleted. And the 2 files that were deleted that I brought back, I guess they might have corrupted. But here's the thing. I don't know why. Because at one point, you'll remember I dropped off the call. So maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe, it's saving on the computer, running out of space had something to do with it. Maybe me emptying the recycling bin. I erased some kind of small file. I don't know. So I put in a ticket with Zoom. I sent them the files. I'm trying to get it. I'm like, oh, please. And the person that was working with me, you could tell obviously so foreign. But it was all right, though, because she did a good job. But end of the day, they couldn't help me. We're asked out. And I was like, okay, so had I saved on the cloud, would this have happened? And she said, no. In the future, save on the cloud, this won't happen. So PSA, lesson learned, don't save locally. Always save on the cloud. You'll have access to it later. You can download it again at another time. So I'm just letting y'all know. If anything, hey, we learned the lesson for you.
Hey, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, and the cloud, man, it's Genius, man. I'm glad they came out with that shit. Can you imagine us doing this back in the day and that would have happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, shout out to the cloud, like ventures of that.
Cloud technology.
Shout out to the
for sure.
clouds.
All right. Well, we'll jump right back into the docket. We have a good docket today. Pretty versatile, actually. First thing that we have was an announcement that actually happened yesterday when we were recording, but there have since been some developments. Joe Biden declared Kamala Harris as his running mate for the election 2020. I don't know much about her policies. I'm kind of just like, hey, it's all the same. We've talked about this in past episodes. To me, there's different figureheads. That's my opinion. But I know that you all had some opinions. Chance, Jock, y'all felt one way initially, kind of turned it around. So we can kind of start with your initial take.
So initially I was like, I don't know about this because I don't really know a lot about her. But I researched her, researching, and she stands for a lot of dope stuff, man. Like she went to Howard University, you know, shout out to my HBCUs, you know, and she's AK as well. So that's, you know, yeah, so that's very dope. But besides, you know, all that, the most like shit she's been getting is the fact that she was attorney general, and so people feel like, okay, she's for the cops and she's for like Blue Lives Matter and all this, so that's why she's getting like shitted on right now. But honestly, she's trying to fix like the system, and in my opinion, I think that sometimes you got to fix within. So you got to join like a certain cause to like deep rooted, you know, from like once you're actually in. So, you know, I'm excited, man. She's a strong woman. She's already taking shots at Trump today, you know, saying he's fucking up the country, which in my opinion he is, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited, man. And then, you know, on top of her, actually, like if he does win, it's going to be a lot of other black women in the cabinet, strong black women. So I'm excited about that too.
Chance, where you at with this?
Yesterday, like I said, I was like, yo, that was the wrong pick. You should have picked the right. But actually, today, I came around to it. I mean, yeah, she's up there, man. She's very obviously, you know, successful in her field or whatever. Yeah, she was a prosecutor or whatnot.
Right.
You know, California Attorney General. I mean, you know, people do their jobs. You know what I'm saying? And that was her job. And obviously she did it well or whatever. So, you know what? I'm with her. And also, I'm a big fan of Mike Rudolph. And so, like, I know that that's going to be, like, real good for, like, SNL, you know what I'm saying? In the coming seasons and shit, you know? So, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty good. It's pretty fun.
And also,
so
add on
we'll have this debate season.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But also, she's been the first of like a lot of shit, bro. What I mean by that is she was the first African American / Southern Asian that's been like the district attorney, and then she served as attorney general, like Chance said, for California for 2 years, which is like very dope. And then if Biden wins, she's gonna be the first African American woman, you know, as vice president. So that's pretty dope, man. That she's like the first in like a lot of things. So I'm all for it, you know.
Now, do you think this was like a strategy play for Biden because he's trying to, you know, ward off all the?
I think so, honestly. Like, and I was talking to my homeboy about that. Like, man, I think Biden is trying to like appeal to black votes and like other people. I mean, if I'm being real with you, like that's what it is. But
both of them are.
Yeah, exactly. Because they gotta like get our votes or whatever. Because you know, you don't have to be. To me, like when he was like, oh, you know, you have to be. If you're not voting for me, you're not black. Remember when he said that shit? You know, so it's like, yeah it's like. That. Right, exactly. So I don't know, man.
That was funny.
Well, you know, I think Trump's black vote strategy, of course, is Kanye. You know, John Legends tried to flat out call him on it, you know, saying, look, we all know what this is. This is just a facade. He's trying to be the swing vote. Today, you catch wind of news that, you know, he's doing private meetings with Kushner. And then I also heard that they're trying to get him for electoral fraud. Now they're trying to come after him, saying that signatures on his petitions are invalid. So there's a lot of chicanery, a lot of weird shit going on with the election. As always, it's really just like the ultimate reality show, if you think about it. Like that's what presidential elections have become in America, is just real life Survivor, you know? And the scary part is the stakes are, you know, astronomically higher than $1 million and you're on the TV reunion and shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want
And
to
the people that get voted out the island is like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even them though. You know, it's like it's us.
Mhm.
They're playing with our lives. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know. We're in August now, man. You know what I'm saying? Three months out. So yeah, I'm excited for the election season, man. It's kicking in. You know what I'm saying? It's like
You for
it's
sure
like when
are.
football kick in. You know what I'm saying? Or like basketball season and shit. You know. So
I do
it's
have a
gonna be
question.
fun. What's up?
So, what percentages do African Americans make up in the United States? Does anybody know?
Oh, that's a very low percentage.
you
Actually,
can do
I
Google.
forgot. I did know
Is
that
it like
number, but
20% or something? Like, it's really
Yeah,
low.
between 20 and
I
like
think it's like 13, man. They always say that though.
Right,
Like,
right.
It's pretty low.
I know
Well,
there.
wait.
The
Yeah, 12% in the
12%?
2010
So it's
census.
below 20. The reason why I asked that is you guys keep talking about Biden's running mate. It seems like if he's trying to fight for our vote, which would make up a low percentage, is that a great strategy?
Good question. Good question. Go ahead, Chance.
For one, I really don't think that he has to kind of like fight for it or whatever. I mean, this is gonna be like between them. This is the battle of the blacks, or the battle for the blacks. So to say, because they're about to be like throwing all kinds of stuff at us over the next 3 months. I mean, we might get our reparations. We might get our 40 acres and a mule. I take a Cadillac, but I mean, I don't know, man.
Authentic.
It like with that being said, like the 12%, the 2010 census or whatever. I think it's been that number for like a long time, man. I really don't think that number is accurate. Me being a black person, I know all black people, they don't answer the door for the census people and everything like that. So we don't even be getting counted, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I don't know. But we I don't know, like it's a lot of virtue signaling gonna be going on over the next, within the next coming months and weeks and everything like that. But I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, it's election season. Like, let's get it. Let's go.
My thing is, man, just get out and vote. I know that like we have two shitty candidates. I'm just gonna call it how it is.
Yeah.
But you gotta pay attention to like who's actually gonna be in there with them, like the cabinet. I don't care about Biden. In my opinion, he's very random, senile. He just jumps from like point to point. Doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean? He doesn't know what he stands for. I still don't know what Biden stands for to this day. Like he doesn't.
Hairy legs and
What'd you say?
We had the whole, the rants about the kids, and they had the hairy legs. And,
yeah.
They were black, and they're like, "Wait, what? What happened?
What
was the connection?" Like
corn pop.
Yeah.
He was talking about corn pop.
The roaches.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's funny.
The point I'm making is
the debates are gonna be hilarious, y'all.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be funny. But
so, Doc, you bring up a really good point to get out and vote. What people do and choose to vote for and stuff like that determines where the military is gonna go. Who's going to be our commander in chief? So please get out and vote.
And also do your research. Don't just vote blind because you hate somebody. I know we all dislike, the right or whatever, but also make sure you know who you're voting for. That's on the left or
and then also
vote for Chance too.
Also know who
this is gonna be one of the most
your ballot, what other positions, because most Americans can't name besides vice president and president who's up for election. So also know the different positions.
Right.
You're gonna be voting for school zones and stuff like that. So
that's what matters most impactful, at least.
For sure. And you know what's crazy? Speaking of that, like, knowing who you voting for, knowing who's running and everything like that. Actually, me doing some research for, the election in my district or whatever, for the race that I'm running, I figured out something last night that was crazy, kind of blew my mind. And I think we may have talked about this yesterday, but so, everybody knows that, I'm running for Congress or whatnot. and the incumbent is Sheila Jackson Lee. She's 13 term, 25-year vet in Congress or whatnot. Democratic machine. But I looked up who were like her opponents in the race, and not only is there me and another front-runner Republican named Wendell Champion, but there's 11 other people. There's 13 people in the race total. I just found that out yesterday, and that's like kind of crazy. Like, I've actually been doing like kind of research on all of them. They're random people you never think, and a lot of them have spent money. I don't know if they're still in, still out, or whatever. I haven't really seen any signs up around, the city or just period, going around. I don't know about, in you guys' districts or whatnot.
Who's the guy with the
over here? I mean,
Dan Crenshaw.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was like, who's the guy with the patch on his eye?
Dan Crenshaw, yeah.
Oh, Dan Crenshaw. That's another district or whatever. He's an incumbent, but he's I don't know if about those races, but that's why we do have to research our candidates, research who are the people that are running, and what races, what's up for grabs, things like that.
Speak on that,
because that's something they don't teach us.
What'd you say, Erica?
Yeah, to speak on that, I remember my first time voting. Nobody told me it was going to be other stuff to vote for. And I was in California and all the different propositions. I don't know if I voted for like the ramps to be built for the disabled people or not. Like, I was lost.
And one of my like long-standing beliefs, I really don't think you should straight ballot vote. I feel like that's just kind of like blindly saying like, hey, this is my tribe. Everything else is bullshit. Read through. I mean, I don't know if everybody has the time to read through every candidate's policies and everything that they stand for, who they're up against. But, that's kind of that's our right. If you're going to vote, do it the right way. I feel like that's the best way to do it, to make an informed decision, each and every case by case basis.
But look, hey, niggas don't read though. I'm joking. But no, like seriously though, like you're right. You know how I feel about the whole straight ballot. Like I told you, Mike, remember back in the day, like I don't vote straight ballot because to me that's idiotic. You shouldn't just vote blindly for stuff without really like knowing what you're doing.
That was me, my first time voting. No one.
I think it was me too. Yeah. But you learn from it. You look back and you say, well, now being 12 years older, shit. Damn, yeah, 12 years. You're like, well, should have done it that way,
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, Erica, for saying the N-word.
Thank you. Oh, he must have told you I do not like that word.
No, you told me. You told us.
Oh, yeah. It's an epithet I'd rather not like hear people say or utilize. We're so much better than that. I wish people could move forward from that word. I mean, it's just like several other insults you can use. Just let's do better.
And you're right,
The history behind the word. I appreciate it. Thank you for being man enough to apologize. Like some people can't even acknowledge that they said it. Some people will be like, oh, I said it. So at least you're conscious of what you're speaking on.
Yeah, facts.
We'll have to get into future culture items. We talked about having some culture pods. We'll have to give a little tease to the listeners because that's coming soon.
Stay tuned. It's going to be some dope stuff, man.
So the other big headline news this week is college football is on life support. So the BIG10, PAC12 announced that they're not playing this fall. They're moving to the spring, or at least they're aiming to play in the spring. Now, spotlight's on the BIG10 or the BIG12, SEC. What are you all going to do? My question is, okay, postponing college football. They're not postponing campus life. People are still going to be out and about, mingling, still going to be in classrooms together, maybe wearing a mask, but right across from each other. You're still going to have college parties. You're still going to be in the dorms. You're still going to be possible on all the suitcase colleges, driving home, driving right back up. Still going to be a lot of interpersonal, contact. So my question, is postponing football, is that the right thing to do? Is it really going to do anything? Is anything really going to happen with that? Is that really going to mitigate risks when we still have all the other factors I just mentioned?
I don't think so, man. I think people are going to catch it regardless. You know, it's going to happen. And then people are so curious. If you tell them not to do something, they're going to want to do it even more. You know, like, hey, don't do this, or hey, don't do that. They're going to find a way to do it. Like, at these campuses, I know they were having, like, parties to catch COVID, which is stupid. You know what I mean? Just like, who can get it first? So, yeah, I don't think it's going to matter.
To speak on what you just said, though, an athlete, that's their job, though. Like, to perform and to go to a game or something like that, like, they get paid to do that. Just like some students are paid scholarships to go to class and ace them and so on and so forth. But being a student, you're paying for that. That's your choice if you want to be there or not. Being an athlete, you're kind of forced to go. I am a former collegiate athlete. If I miss certain track meets and stuff like that, I would lose my scholarship that I had. So I don't know if we should, I don't know if it's the states that vote for some schools and so on and so forth. I don't know if some people's health is worth the entertainment that we're trying to get out of it. Safety, of course, is paramount when it comes to something like that. I don't know.
Facts, I agree, because, you know, you're your own biggest investment. So I feel like, you know, you have to look at the bigger picture, look at the long run. This season can wait, in my opinion.
What's interesting, though, is that, you know, you're seeing a lot of the players saying they want to play. They're the ones that are potentially at risk, right? Well, not really. I mean, I don't know of any athletes that have gotten it, minus the Vikings linebacker with the heart issue, who really could have an issue with it. You know, it's just kind of been a little, all right, I'm good. You know, they're out there playing 2 weeks later. But, you know, they're the ones that are wanting to play, which makes it interesting. The other part of this, too, is when you think about the schools that are more academic focused, you know, your Ivy League schools, more focused on grades, right, and degrees, they might be
blowing his ass out of the water.
But SEC schools, I mean, then you also look at, think about like North Carolina or Duke, you know, the basketball schools. They don't give a shit if football is going on. So there's a lot of little pieces to this that make it interesting, but, you know, college football, I don't watch football on Saturdays. I'm only a Sunday guy, you know, so I won't feel any different, but I do wonder what the draft looks like next year, you know, and if this goes on for several years, I wonder if you're going to have a lull of talent in the NFL because they keep missing out on years of college football. Now, again, that's getting several steps ahead, and, you know, I think we're on progress to take care of this. So it's not a several years issue, but I don't know. I don't know if moving college football, I mean, moving it, yes, maybe, but, you know, that also, can you play Texas? I mean, can you play football in Texas in May?
Yeah, it's hot.
It's kind of hot.
Hell no.
My Houstonians and Texans, y'all know what it is when summertime comes. It's like 98 degrees. It feels like 130 outside.
Now, granted, you know, football is in August and September in Florida and Texas, and that's muggy as hell. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the whole season, and it is kind of weird, though, that all the sports are kind of flipping on their head and the seasons are all getting realigned and all that, too.
So, Erica, as a former athlete, how do you feel about that? You know, like, if you're in that position, like, what would you do?
So my first thing is, I love how, like, football is the major thing. Like, everybody's like, oh, if football is going to happen or not. There's so many other fall sports. There are so many other athletes that are getting missed out on. When I ran track, we had indoor and outdoor. Indoor was ran during fall and, you know, fall and winter time. So, you know, everybody knows spring, outdoor, that's what, track, baseball, so many other sports. But my opinion, is not worth their health. I know some people want to perform. That's all they know. If you've been training since you were probably 4 or 5 years old in that sport, that's all you know. That's all you want to do. And that's probably why you're going to college, is to do that. My opinion on it, is it worth it? No, I don't think it's worth it at all. If we miss a season or two, I think we'll be okay.
And I think, just to piggyback on that, the silver lining is that kids should focus more on academia. You know what I mean? Like, hey, realize that sports, yeah, it's a big part, but it's so much more to life to offer. You know, if you like just apply like yourself in your mind, you know, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, like whatever you want to be. Like, who was the one guy, Mike from Kansas City Chiefs, that was like a doctor and he opted out? Forgetting his name, but that guy, we're gonna bring up his name in a second, but I thought that was very admirable that, okay, he won a championship. He was third string, but it doesn't matter. You know, he still won a championship, and he decided to opt out to, like, help fight against COVID because he actually got his degree. He's a doctor as well, or physician. So I don't know. I think it's pretty dope, man.
So I think he was a backup guard on the Chiefs, Laurent Duvernay Tardif.
You can butcher his name. It's fine. It's cool.
LDT, I think they called him. But I mean, on top of that, look, if you're a football fan, you want to watch good football, you just watch it on Sundays anyway. So,
was that shade? Was that slight shade, Mike, that you threw?
Always shameless. Look, I'll tell you right now, college football. If I want a good Saturday nap, I'll put on college football.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't at me.
He's telling the truth. Like I do not watch college ball. No lie. Don't at me because you definitely won't find me on social media. But yeah, I have. Yeah.
I don't know about college sports are like whack anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I don't know. It's something like that, like on, but I don't never be into that shit. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
too slow.
I don't know.
It's fun as a student.
It's not that it's too slow. It's just like I don't know. Well, for me, it's just like I just don't care. They come on like mad early in the morning, be like 9:30 games and shit like that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Games.
Like being a former collegiate athlete, I've ran against Olympic runners. To see them perform versus like me, I'm like, thank God my mama came to 1 or 2 track meets because I definitely wouldn't be at all of mine. They were so long, they were boring. There were so many people that you did not know or hear of. Yeah, I felt bad for them super dads and super moms that would be out there all day with their kids like, go hon, you could do this. Because if I was a parent, I'd definitely be like, all right, look, I'm coming for your race and your race only.
Right.
Yeah, personally, I think they should actually do away with like college sports and just make it like semi-pro.
Blasphemy.
Semi-pro.
I would be with that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
and then
You get
that's
paid,
like will
right?
feed into like that's kind of like how we talked about the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I say no because without collegiate sports, I wouldn't have paid for most of college. So I say no. They may not be paid athletes on like actual monetary means of being able to do stuff outside of school, but it is something like my academics alone wouldn't have gotten me through college. So
because I know they pay some of those athletes under the table, like with different.
The stuff that I've seen, I can't speak on too much, but it's uncanny what some of your favorite
SEC
athletes get.
I remember. I don't even want to say like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. So we had a player on. We had college football 10 years ago when I was in college. Y'all can do the research and find out where I was. But it was funny because that was actually the first podcast that I had put together was the Houstonian Sports Show. It's actually on the website if anybody wants to go listen and laugh at us. But it's actually pretty good. I was like, yeah, I actually did my research. Like I knew my shit back then. But anyway, there was a player that we had on from one of the sports. And we did an hour, great podcast. All right, cool, thank you. Closed it out. And then we just kept bullshitting for another hour. And, I mean, the mic was off, so he was just open door at that point.
Yeah.
At one point, we're like, so what made you, decide this school versus our top competitor? And he's like, oh, well, this school paid more. And we're like, what? We're all looking at each other like, oh, shit, we should have been recording. But, I mean, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes or just like known, And
yeah, my thing is, why don't they just come out with it in public, because we know that y'all getting paid like for the top athletes.
You cannot do that. Endorsements and stuff like that is not allowed. You sign a contract.
In California, you can.
What'd you say? No,
in California you can now.
I'm from California.
They changed it, right?
We signed a contract stating that we will not receive more than tuition, more than room and board, any stuff like that. We're supposed to record it. Any vehicles, shoes, stuff like that, we are not supposed to receive any of that. If it's not going to go around to the entire team, one individual cannot receive it. Now, do they do that? Of course they do. I have a cousin. I'm not going to say her name because it's not the same as mine, but she had endorsements. Like she was in commercials. She was doing stuff like that. She was getting money. Mm-hmm. And she was one of the top athletes in that year. Not just for track and field. I think she did soccer as well. And she was getting paid money. Like
Yeah.
See, and I feel like
Good though.
They try
should
their
get
best.
some kind of compensation, or at least be able to bank on their name. You know,
Right.
like,
Yeah, I agree with that. But you signed a contract though. Within your contract, you're not supposed to break that. It's legal. It's binding.
And see, they're hoeing y'all, man. That's another part of the systemic racism.
Exploiting us.
I'm joking.
No,
there
you
are systemic
you're
problems,
very
though,
accurate.
because-
Most of your top athletes are minorities.
Yeah.
But there is a
I don't wanna
parallel
get deep into
though
it.
with the same structure though. When you look at college athletes, you know, big football stars, big team, you know, they don't really much have to show up to class. So when they're saying, "Oh, they're getting an education for free," they're getting a free grade. They're not really getting education. How many times are they actually showing up? Now, I can't generalize and say that's the case for all, but that is the case in a lot of situations.
Sad but true. I met the dumbest basketball player at my school. I don't know how that man graduated. And to say the least, if you spell your own name wrong, you should not be graduating college. So,
And see, isn't that bad too? Because it's not setting them up for like success when they graduate. You know what I mean? It's enabling them.
it goes back to the exploitation. We're going to push your name as far as we can. And once you graduate, it's on your own to survive. And it's sad, but it's so true, because that's why a lot of athletes try to push to go pro, because they know they have nothing else to rely on. It's,
Right.
I feel like that's another podcast in the making.
I'm with it. You know, we actually need to just have a great debate podcast, and then like we'll get to it. We'll get to the shits. We got some stuff coming. We got some stuff in the works.
But you guys can do your research on some of these top names, though. You'll see.
Yes. So one sport that's kind of working all this out through the bubble, through the COVID bubble, is the NBA. Hey, bubble ball is dope. So first of all, we'll start with that. Bubble ball overall has been nice.
Yeah.
You see these rivalries pick up, the whole Lillard, George beef, you know, game last week where Lillard gets a chance to get the game-winning free throws, knock them down, misses them. You know, that's the thing with Lillard, though, right? Like, he has his moments like yesterday where he dropped 61, but he'll have some of his choke moments too, like going up 20 against the Warriors in 4 straight games and squandering that. But, you know, neither here nor there. Misses the free throws. You get the Beverly Dame dollar time. You get him telling people respect on my name after he dropped 61 yesterday. You know, I think people are starting to get tense. Now they've announced that they're going to allow for family and established long-standing personal friends to enter the bubble.
Oh, really?
So I don't know what kind of wrinkles are going to work out with that. I'm like, all right, who's going to be the first person fighting over girls that are long-standing friends? You know, the group is coming in. All I know is bubble. I'm all about bubble life. Bubble NBA is where it's at.
Yeah, and I agree, bro.
I want to sneak in.
It's dope. What you gonna say, Chance? Go ahead.
I say I want to sneak in. I want to like go down to like Orlando and just like, you know, wear one of those like big overcoats and just like finesse my way in, like, you know, make up some passes and shit like that. You know,
I just wonder.
I think that would be fun.
That would be. I just wonder who's gonna fuck it up though. So like you said, with the family and people coming in, somebody's gonna have the shit and it's gonna like ruin shit. But I hope that it's like during like the finals or like, you know, because that'll be kind of like interesting to see like, okay, like shit's fucking up like the final championship game. That'll be kind of funny.
Well, the cool thing with that, maybe that kind of simulates somewhat of a crowd environment. You know, I'm imagining they're going to be at the games.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you set it up. Someone's going to be like a YMCA league, maybe, where you have bleachers and just like moms, friends, sons sitting there watching them play. Like, that's what it could look like, you know, and they might have all the digital shit, you know, around that. But I'm curious to see, like, what's going to happen. There's going to be something. I mean, if you already had Lou Will kind of step out in the first phase of this, what is the second phase going to look like when you have friends and family start coming into the bubble? That's what I want to see.
And speaking of Lou Will, this is random, but strip club wings are some of the fucking best wings. If I ain't had them shits, like, I got to go to, like, your nearest strip club, whatever city you're in, and try some of those wings. You won't be disappointed.
To kind of conjure on the whole concept of having close friends and family show up, the side chicks are going to be really sad when they're not in the bleachers.
No, I don't bring the side chick instead of the wife. Or who told the side chick ahead of time, like, hey, they're going to let us in. And then the wife was like on Twitter, like, wait, Wojnarowski just said, what's this? See, they said not wives, though. babe, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Some shit like that.
It's gonna be something coming out in the news.
They're gonna have some
I'm
girls
all
show
for it.
up where they're gonna be like, "Wait, I thought she was my long-standing personal friend. What's this
Right,
about?"
right. Then they
You know,
go,
Lou Will has 2 girlfriends, right?
I'm
You
sure
said what?
most of them.
Lou
do.
Williams, he has
I mean,
2 girlfriends, and they know about each other, like they're cool with it.
I wouldn't be surprised. And when you make that
That's
much
wild,
money,
though.
they better be in agreement.
Come on, man. Everybody in the entanglement.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a-
Great word. Great word. Thank you, Jada.
2020, right? That's the word of the month.
yeah.
So the other thing we were talking about is yesterday we were talking a little bit about LeBron and kind of how he's handled this. So what kind of threw me off is, you know, we did talk about those players that will thrive off of no fans. We also talked about some of those players that might struggle with no fans because they can't get up, can't play. So, you know, LeBron, look, top 3, maybe top 2 player all time. He does always have to have a built-in excuse or something to complain about. And his latest complaint is, oh, you know, it's kind of weird without the fans. I guess what I'm saying is with LeBron, yo, he's cool, but LeBron just kind of corny. Like, I've always like felt that way. As much as he's good and, you know, it gets all my respect, he just like really cheesy to me. Jock's saying no. Jock, okay, you jump in first then. I want to hear how he's not.
So LeBron is not corny because to me, like, he defines like a good role model for like the Black community. And what I mean by that is, like, off court, he's doing these things for these, like, the school that he built. You never see him in any scandals as far as like, oh, he cheated on this person, or he's in this, or he's involved in this. He's always like keeping everything pristine and clean, you know, and like we need to see more of that in the Black community. So I don't think he's corny. Maybe some of his antics is a little like extra, but if you ask me who I think is corny, Steph Curry, like, he's fucking corny to me, like, facts. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like,
made the walking Skechers, like the walking shoes, basically.
Right, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's corny, you know.
Erica, though, so you're in California, or you're not in California, but you Cali girl. You know, you've been a Lakers fan
for years, for a couple of decades. Yeah, actually,
since day one, probably, right?
Yes, actually, yeah. Since
we haven't talked with a Lakers fan on the pod about like kind of embracing LeBron. You know, like, what is that like? Like, how long did that take? Like, was it something that was like initially like, nah, like, what was that like, you know?
So I still haven't embraced him. I am not a fan of LeBron. I am a fan of the Lakers. So whoever's playing for the Lakers, you got my vote until you leave. And once you leave, it's like it never happened. You were that child that shows up at the dad's funeral. Nobody knew of you. Yeah, so let's talk about LeBron. You said he's a great role model. Yes and no. I say yes because he actually does a lot for his community, like especially Ohio as a state in general. He does a lot, and I respect him for that. But he is very much cornball. You have to understand he's been a celebrity since high school. He is growing up in that day and age where he's been known for so long, he does not know how to mingle with the rest of us. He's not humble. There's been remember that situation when he threw the towel and the towel boy was supposed to get it and he was like picking it up off the floor. And it was kind of like, oh, you need to humble yourself or whatever. LeBron is a celebrity. He's been a celebrity for so long, he forgot how to be like the rest of us.
Remember when LeBron walked off with the purse or little bag when he stood up? That shit was funny. I was like,
with his dress.
Yes, when you say Steph Curry is like the walking mom jeans and Sketcher guy, that's so true. Give it another 10 years. You're gonna start seeing that weird kid that's now growing to a famous athlete and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, that's where we are in society. Yeah, these people, myself included, we've grown up with so much media around us. We don't know how to be anything but corny.
Chance, how do you feel about LeBron and him being corny?
LeBron definitely cornball my favorite. I mean, he just is like I don't know. He's one of those people that like me and Mike talked about. You know how he was the quintessential millennial or whatever. And I think all millennials are corny. So you know, like if he's the quintessential millennial, then that means he's the quintessential cornball. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I just think he's like lame, and I feel like he does his good because like he's so like
uncool that like. I mean, he's so good, dude. Don't get me wrong, but like he's like, I don't know. It's just something about him, man. He's just like he's not hip. Like even though like he's the young guy or whatever, you know, he's older than us obviously, but like he was, you know, the young guy, but like he still seems like he's like the lame dad. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is about LeBron.
I don't
So
agree
I'll
with
say
y'all,
this.
man.
Yeah.
I guess I'm sending a solo on this. I don't agree. So like,
Well,
Chance,
like I'll say this, like when it comes to the philanthropist, the humanitarian, I would put him on there with like Ali, you know, and that Mount Rushmore of all time people that, like you said, Jock, like, you know, promoting the underserved Black community, things like that. I think he's got cool style to a certain extent. You know, it's not quite dripping like Westbrook, but you know, he's got some style to him. But I don't know, man, like he's not intimidating. So like even though he's like cold as shit, and I mean his game is beautiful, you know, I don't know if I'd ever play against him and feel scared. Like Jordan, I'd be like, damn, man, Jordan trying to steal my spirit. And I mean, look, I know it's not fair to always compare him to Jordan. He's his own player, but you know, it just, I mean, I guess if you think about sports today, though, you think ESPN tied to Disney and like they all kind of go together. Space Jam 2. So, I mean, you know, I mean, I guess there is like, you know, it makes sense that he's kind of cheesy. He's putting on for his kids, you know, more than anything, I think. But, you know, LeBron, the player, excellent. The philanthropy, awesome. LeBron, like he's just kind of corny. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
hey, not to me, man. Hey, LeBron's one of the greatest, man. That's my hero.
I mean, like you can be like cool but corny, like Carlton. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Hey, how about him though, trying to make a comeback out here with like his nice edge up? Like he looks like Chris Paul in those commercials. I swear to God, Alfonso Ribeiro trying to make a comeback.
At the end of the day, LeBron being corny or not, like the cool guy doesn't win championships, so I'm all for it. Go ahead and win that championship for us, LeBron. So I don't care if he's corny or not. Do your job on the court. I don't care if you're corny off the court.
Hey, Erica, he made the Lakers great again, though.
Yeah, he look, we going somewhere. Okay, you got a point with that one.
#1 seed again.
True. 10
Yeah,
years.
Hey, speaking. Hey, I know like this is, I don't know, this is kind of off topic or whatever, but I don't know. Speaking of corny or whatever, Jack, you know who like you kind of look like right now? Like you always like your look always changes. But you know who you look like right now? Fucking Jason Derulo. Remember we was talking about that dude? And I was like, who is that dude? You know what I'm saying? Like your look right now, you look like Jason Derulo.
Oh my!
You look like Shaft like 2 weeks ago. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like Chameleon, man. I try to switch shit up every day. You know what I'm saying? You got to be different. As an artist, as a creative, you got to like try to like push the envelope. But, you know, I appreciate that, Chance. Like, you know, to me, it's a compliment. Not compared to Jason.
He go with Jennifer Mays, though. So, like, I mean, you winning.
Well, not even just compare me to Jason, but just saying, like, I have the ability to, like, adapt and shit to switch it up, you know?
Speaking of lookalikes, I know we discussed this yesterday. I want to know who do you get the most? Like, when somebody tells you look like someone, who do you get the most, celebrity-wise?
Can I go first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So, #1 was Wesley Snipes. Like, #1.
Blade.
Remember when you were younger,
like
yeah.
Blade.
When we were in high school, yeah.
Yeah, Kid Cudi. But I think his white people were saying, "Oh, you look like Cudi." You know, the white people that listen.
Chance got that too. I just feel like, oh, you're black and you have style that's not, you know,
Also,
it stands out. You look like Kid Cudi. Is what
Also, Waldo from Family Matters.
Yes.
Which I was mad.
Version. I will say that a better version, not the goofy weirdo that I wouldn't want to be around. Like you, like the upgraded version. How about that?
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that because I thought it was an insult, like Waldo. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But I learned to accept it and deal with it. You know.
Chance has a lot. I've heard a lot for Chance. Chance has had a couple. That's probably why he's got the hair growing out, so he don't get these comparisons anymore.
No, right.
Hey, last episode though, Mike talking about look like LeBron though. So shit.
No, I said that was Gerry. Gerry had that whole box beard setup. He was like this the whole time. I thought it was him. Leaning back.
I saw what you did there, Chance. See how I look like a LeBron. Nigga think he's slick. I said it again. I'm sorry. I apologize. I
Hey,
can't help it.
it's your vernacular.
No, it's actually not though. It's
Oh.
not like I don't know why. Maybe because I'm drinking. I don't know.
Stop being influenced by these social media influencers.
Social media.
I won't say it again, Erica. I won't say
Like
it.
Erica.
You said
So
what?
speaking of
No, wait.
social media,
So Erica, before we move on, who did you get the most of, like who you look like or whatever?
Toya Wright. I don't know why, but Toya Wright, which is Lil Wayne's, I guess, first wife, Reginae mama.
Reginae. What a name. It's a name on her.
I look like a Louisiana chick. I guess that's what they're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
And what about you, Mike? I know who you look like.
Kevin James.
Yes, I agree with
maybe
the
back in the
Kevin
day.
Paul Blart.
Nah,
You look
back
like
in the
a
day,
Kevin.
Misha Purdy once told me I looked like Keanu Reeves in 7th grade, but that was like way too long ago.
No, you look like Mike. You look like Macklemore.
Maybe if he
Maybe
died
the
of hair
hair.
blonde. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Fearless. I really don't get many comparisons, honestly. I kind of have one of those. I feel like every time I see myself, I look different, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know who I look like. I really want to know. Besides the Toya Wright one, I don't agree with that one. She's very beautiful. I just don't look like her.
You look like Erica. That's who you look like.
Thank you. I am my own.
Erica.
viewers, feel free to comment our doppelgangers, in the YouTube comments. I'm curious to see
Look
who
like.
you think, actually.
It's keep calling me, man. It's keep calling me. Oh yeah, Chris Rock too.
ADD.
The streets is calling me, man.
Jock does look like Rock. Like, if you, stayed real skinny, like, when you got older, you look like
Or
Rock.
squint. If you squint and tilt your head like this.
That's why you still think Chris Rock is funny.
I know. Hey,
Chris
we
Rock
kind
is
of
funny,
turned
by the way.
around.
So I know a couple episodes I was like, he's not that funny, man. But
Oh, I definitely saw that episode.
yeah, I know that was blasphemous. I actually looked at like a bunch of his shit and like he's funny, so I apologize. My bad.
Well, you know what I think it is, honestly? I remember there was that movie, I Think I Love My Wife, and he actually kind of played it serious.
Yeah.
That was like one of the more recent things he did, even though it was kind of obscure. So maybe you're thinking about that, and like, well, he wasn't funny in that because he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Because I'm thinking
then
about the
it's
movies, not
stand-up.
the stand-up. So that's why I was like comparing.
I
to.
don't know. Down to Earth is a movie, and I love that movie.
Down to Earth was a classic. I remember that.
Head of state.
Head of State.
Yeah.
Security!
That was a good one. Pootie Tang. Not that it was like that funny, but it was just kind of like weird, But like
Pootie Tang
funny,
is
weird.
a GOAT movie. Yeah.
Chris Rock is one of those comedians. I'm happy where his career went. Like he played it smart. He
Yeah.
started off with like these very tragic roles when he played what was his name in
Pookie.
Pookie. Yes, when he played Pookie, the crackhead. We didn't know where his career was going, and he got denied on SNL like 3-4 times. You guys can look that up. He was a guest several times, but like he's one of those comedians. If you're a comedian out there, I know Chance and Mike, you guys have this stand up. I would kind of like study that man's career path because he actually did good. Yes, I did my research.
yeah.
Like, don't be too surprised.
And Chris Rock is like very thought provoking. So like y'all said, Chance, I remember he's like everybody comes from the school of rock, like your Dave Chappelle's. And like I understood that when I watched the stand up, like damn, he says shit to make you like damn, like that's pretty deep. But let me think about that,
Sounds like another podcast, Mike. Top 5 comedians.
It does. Hey, comics are funny, man. Obviously, but I like stand up.
Yeah.
That was the quote of the year. Comics are funny. Nah, but I like stand up. Stand up's I want to get more into it. We did do it before. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I watched you guys' stand-up comedy.
I know,
Especially
dope, man. Crowd was good. Like it was a good crowd. Like I was glad to be there.
Where do you guys think comedy is gonna go after this whole pandemic passes? Because I know some comedians are trying to get out there and put their material out, and unfortunately, like D.L. Hughley was one of those people performing and actually caught corona. So, like, where do you guys think comedy is gonna go?
I think that there's a lot of challenges with trying to do it now, like through COVID. I've heard some people have talked about doing like this, like Zoom, like stand up. That can't really work because you work off the crowd, Yes. And you don't really know if the jokes are landing or not. And you're like, most people aren't gonna have their cameras on, Like I've seen that firsthand. Most people that you have meetings with don't have the camera on. So I think that's hard because there's a lot of people that go all the time to do stand-up to stay sharp on that craft. I mean, like the pros, not like, I mean, even people that are working towards it, but, you know, all those reps are gone. And, you know, I think now society is becoming so much more sensitive that you can't say shit anymore. And what's funny about stand-up comedy is when people push the envelope. They say some shit that you don't expect, and you're like, oh my God, that's funny. That's so true. Like, shit, I didn't really think about that. Or I can't
You have
believe
an
she
epiphany
said that.
with what something they're saying.
Right. Or I can't believe she said that. You know, like it's all about pushing the envelope, and you really can't do that anymore. And then on top of that, you see a lot of these rising stand-up comics like Chris D'Elia, even now Brian Callen. Not that he's rising, but, you know, he's been off and on. Now, like, they're all being caught up in the Me Too stuff. Aziz Ansari. But I think those have kind of just, you know, like the Aziz one, I thought was total bullshit. The Chris D'Elia one, you know, when you look into the story and you see kind of the continuation of the emails that he saw, he always backed out every time he realized he was about to cross the line. But they don't show that side. They just show the beginning half, the half they want to show that pushes the agenda of this guy's a menace. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of comics now probably are even nervous or scared. I mean, think about Chappelle's, not 846, but the one before that with the trans stuff that I don't think he said, I mean, nothing out of bounds. I mean, he had the one where he was on the nose provoking people, but it was kind of meta.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Are you talking about the part where he was talking about the car, like everyone in the car and stuff like that?
That one was good. Yeah. I mean, he's done it a lot, but like comedy is meant to make people laugh. It's just kind of like an escape from society. It's an escape from the problems in the world. I don't want to go to a to a theater, you know, watching stand up and feel uncomfortable because, you know, everybody's having to do stand up on eggshells and can I even laugh at this? Like, I don't know. Is that okay? Like, do I need to sign some papers to be able to laugh at it? Is it approved? Like, so I'm glad you brought it up because I really don't know. I'm scared for comedy.
One person I do miss in the comedy world is Patrice O'Neal. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, Patrice.
That man would push buttons beyond the limit. He called you out your name. He said the craziest. And I feel like if Chance works on his craft, he could go there. Segue.
I think Chance needed to get a little edgier in the stand-up.
Oh yeah, I told him he can work on his material and it'll be there if he definitely has the voice for it.
Chance and I are similar in the sense that like we're storytellers. I feel like you could have told more stories instead of like punchlines, you know? That's why there's always round two though, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta come out.
We only did that one time, man, but I can't wait to go back. Remember that time we saw that the one chick, I think the night we did it, it was like the one chick, her name was like Debbie something.
I saw she did something recently outside, right?
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah, she actually like did a show that was like a social distance show. So I don't know, maybe we gotta
like with her. Not the same content at all, but like that same kind of setup, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. But I don't know. Like that goes to adjusting. You know what I'm saying? Like adjusting to the times. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ways around it. We just gotta take the time out and actually like try to do it. You know.
I will say this: with comedy coming straight out of the pandemic, we are gonna get so overwhelmed with coronavirus jokes, COVID-19 jokes, quarantine jokes. I am not looking forward to those jokes because they're gonna be so dead at that point. I don't want to hear them because, of course, you got your little Instagram jokes, you got your Facebook jokes that are circulating, they're funny memes and stuff like that. I do not want to see my favorite comedian stand up there to tell a joke that's going to be so dead that it's hilarious that they brought it up. Not that they told a joke about it, but just the fact that they even tried.
Right. Yeah, that'll be, I'm worried about that too. You know, and right now I think it's hard too because, you know, in a lot of stand-up, you kind of do commentary on everyday life and you'll kind of bitch about, you know, little inconveniences and shit like that. Kind of seems like silly, I guess, to do that right now. You know, everybody's like, yeah, everything sucks. Like, of course, you're not telling me anything I don't know. So, I mean, I could see that being kind of a challenge too. But to Chance's point, you know, it's all about, you know, adapting to the times and kind of learning. But I don't know, man. Like, you know, I know everything that I wrote down, you know, because I worked on my bit, and Chance, I know you worked on your shit too. When I was looking at it, I'm like, all right, you know, I just wrote what came to mind, but before I went up there, I was like, wait, let me make sure nobody's gonna get offended. Let me just give it. You shouldn't have to think that. You know what I mean? Like, you just go out there and let it flow.
But Wanda Sykes speaks on that. If you guys actually look back at her, she talks about like she's not going to censor herself to appease anyone. Like if you are that sensitive, don't show up to my comedy set. Like you're going to be that mad. Like just don't show up.
Chance, you remember when Wanda Sykes was our 7th grade PE teacher?
Yeah.
Coach Gerry, she looked just like her.
Like, yo, y'all gotta do some jumping jacks.
That was right when that show came out too. All right, so one of the last things we got on the docket was the Verzuz showdowns. So, you know, as we're talking about quarantine times, it kind of seems like the events that we go to now are kind of like actual events, like digital events. Like, okay, you know, live sports, like that's kind of an event. We're all attending when people go online and they're like, you know, tweeting about it or texting about it. Like that's kind of like what events have become, at least right now. Verzuz, in a way, has kind of become almost like an event. First caught my eye this past week. You know, I remember seeing some from the past, but didn't really pay it much mind. And then I saw 2 Chainz versus Ross, and I saw 2 Chainz, you know, made his argument on the Breakfast Club that, you know, maybe Ross has a larger catalog, but he felt he had more of the hits. You know, I like that it's creating all this, you know, conversation and debate. So I'm digging the Verzuz, man. I'm really feeling it. I wish we need more of that. I'm looking forward to future versions of the Verzuz too.
Facts. And like, you know, I know the first time I got into it was when it was Verzuz for Teddy Riley versus Babyface, which, you know, for the black community, that was big. It was like a concert. People dressed up for this shit at home, you know, and then it crashed. But anyway, so after that, it just been getting better and better. So definitely, like, I'm all for it, man. And like, what I really want to see is Kanye versus Drake. That'll be dope. I know it's not gonna ever happen, but that'd be fucking cool, you know?
Yeah.
Kanye, Drake. That would be interesting too, especially for like the everyday fans, like not like the deep fans, just like the people that like listen to their singles. That would be interesting just to kind of see.
The DMX Snoop Dogg versus was good too, actually. Because Snoop Dogg actually started freestyling. Yeah, what's that?
That one was great. I said that one was great. One of my favorite ones was that one and the Jill Scott, Erica Badu one. That one was like, that was a vibe. That was a whole vibe. Yeah. When Erica Badu started lighting her incense and stuff, I was like, you, not only were you at a concert, it was like euphoria. It's like you were embodied in a whole new realm. And I loved it. I was there for that one. I actually watched that one live. I enjoyed every bit of it. The Snoop DMX one, you taking East Coast, West Coast, and you're bringing them together as a, like for the culture, and it's not like the 90s type thing. I love that. If they can do more of those, the random person versus another random person, and just see where it goes from there, because I loved it. I was there for it.
And the thing I liked about Snoop Dogg versus DMX is they was hyping each other up.
Oh yeah,
which I like. It's no fight. Yeah, no, fuck you. It's like, nah, man. That's I remember this song. Like that shit jammed, and I like that they're coming together more. You know, just appreciating music.
Also, I'm loving where DMX is headspace wise. Like that was my guy back in the 90s growing up. I'm loving that he's doing so much better, fresh out. Yeah. So
y'all want to hear funny something about DMX? My sister used to be in love with DMX. You know, like she was like mad in love with him. You know, like when like you got a crush on like a celebrity or something. And I remember we went to go see that movie Romeo Must Die, and he got like killed or whatever, and she started crying.
Because every female in the 90s wanted a roughneck, Chance. We wanted a roughneck in our life.
So, like, hoping that they forgot where she lives. I still don't understand how they knew she lived. They just show up and blast Kane. I'm like, every time I watch that movie, I'm expecting it to end differently, man. Yeah.
The best DMX movie though was Never Die Alone.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Never
say,
Die Alone.
I like Billy.
Do I look like Prince?
Do I look like Prince, motherfucker?
But the same Mike, I'm the same way when I watch Boys in the Hood. Every time Ricky died, I just hope that he gonna run away and dodge them damn shotgun bullets. So.
I think for every movie, they didn't make a
Zig instead of Zag, Ricky.
You said what, Chance?
Come on, like Ricky's supposed to be the top running back and everything, man. Like that was messed up, man.
You can't dodge a bullet. You should learn that from dodgeball.
You could have juked it though.
You can't dodge a bullet. Learn it from dodgeball.
Yeah.
Hey, me and Mike
Dodge a
used
wrench,
to
you can dodge a ball.
me and Mike used to have this friend that used to juke the columns like
He would. He
every
would.
day come lunch.
He had them high white socks on and the high water jeans. That was our boy though.
That could be another one we can talk about too.
Jabari, shout out to Jabari, man.
Yeah, shout out to Jabari.
That sounds like another
I actually saw him a couple
opportunity for a
years
good
ago.
topic.
Yeah.
Like if people that are subscribed can comment, right, about like what topics they want to hear as far as like best movies that depict something that we memorable, that's very memorable.
We need to, yeah. I mean, there's
Oh,
like
me and Mike know all the movies.
catalog of movies and artists and albums. I mean, we were talking about doing our own, like not verses, but kind of doing hit for hit. I know we were talking about doing the big one, you know, Big and PAC, you know, hey, it's an all-timer, let's do that debate. And then yesterday we were talking offline about Chance thinks Ja Rule would beat 50. I still think that's ridiculous, but, you know, I'll let you, you know, get your
Hit
piece.
for hit. Hit for hit. Like, okay, first of all, Ja Rule does have more number ones than 50. We could Google this shit. I'm pretty sure Ja Rule has more number ones.
Do you not
50.
know the first album 50 Cent created that was mainstream probably is more hits on that album than Ja Rule could
Yeah,
ever
but
in
like,
his lifetime.
it's a difference between having a album and then having like a run. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like, 'cause
correct.
the
about that.
album, it
All
come
right,
out-
so
it's
Mike, please put him up on
let's go to
game.
Billboard. Let's go to
Mike's about
Billboard.
to enlighten
I'm
me
not
right now.
Billboard. Ja got more Billboard than 50.
I know, where did Jack go?
I am. So Ja Rule, according to Billboard, 3 number 1 hits, 8 top 10s. I'm trying to see 50. So 50. This can't be right. It says 1 top 10.
Yeah,
hit.
see, it's right.
But I think that's that can't be right. Hot 100.
come
Let's look
on.
at that instead.
Read the stats.
So Mike,
Okay,
I think
4 number 1 hits.
ooh, so
Okay,
he's
so I
right.
had to change the little chart. We'll do it side by side, and
Oh.
you know,
We're
let's
gonna do a
not forget
side by
about
side for that.
the
Play
Bucks
it by ear.
halftime
Like, for
show.
real,
Hold on,
we have
Mike.
to do it.
You guys are also having to understand we're talking about mainstream. When you think of Billboard, that's mainstream, correct?
Right.
Mike, myself, Chance, you can guarantee any place you've ever been, a barbecue, a cookout, something that you've been at where they're playing music, Ja Rule is not the go-to. Period. He's not the go-to.
Ja Rule ain't it.
Yeah, he's
Yo,
gonna be
it
played.
listen, it may not be it, but I guarantee you, as someone that spins records like on the daily, Ja Rule has more
Chance.
hits than 50, man.
When you at your graduation talking
Very
about
quarantine.
holla, holla. Was you at your graduation talking about holla, holla?
No, but that'll be dope.
Murder
though.
Inc. Murder Inc. Was
I
you
know
doing that?
you're getting bored. You miss my
Hey,
thug.
look, all I know is 50 would never do this though. 50 would have never let this happen.
Yo.
You know what 50 Cent would have did during that, Mike? He would have said, man, fuck all y'all, I'm out this bitch. And then he would have left.
50 would have got him up.
Oh my goodness.
Bro, they
He said,
really did
"Hold
Ja
up, Rule."
wrong, bro. Come on, fam.
Ja Rule had three participants in the crowd. And 2 of them was his relatives.
Who booked this show for Ja, man?
This is a halftime show.
I know, but like I'm saying, who booked it? Like,
Okay,
who's
Mike,
that?
is Ja Rule
gotta
from
get
Milwaukee?
Ja Rule in here.
Nah,
Where's Ja?
gotta
He's
get
from like Jersey, right?
we read it.
Is he from Baltimore? Where's Ja Rule from? Baltimore, New Jersey?
One of
Nah,
the
Ja Rule
boroughs.
from-
Oh, he's from New
Queens.
York.
Was it Queens?
Yeah, Ja Rule from Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't fucking with 50 because 50 ain't about that life no more.
Him and 50 feel the same look.
Clearly not. Clearly not.
Yeah, look.
Man.
Hey,
All
right, I'm back.
50 wouldn't have let that happen, man. 50 wouldn't have
Nah,
let that happen.
you need to save your friend Chance from this embarrassment conversation. Like he's
Monica!
embarrassing himself arguing about Ja Rule.
Ja Rule was in the first Fast and the Furious stuff.
Where would I be without you,
Monica.
man? So like,
I know.
wait, hold on. So like, are y'all talking about the verses
Sure.
right now, Joe?
Y'all know in 7th
watching
grade
Ja
though,
Rule.
Ja Rule got y'all some draws though, man.
No, let me say this. 50 Cent is carrying his weight because he influenced Pop Smoke, who is one of the biggest artists post-death right now. Ja Rule ain't doing it. Everybody
Ja
knows
Rule's
Ja
put on
Rule's
Fire
the Fire
Fest.
Festival right now.
Fire
No.
Festival.
Y'all wouldn't have went to Fire Fest?
Vanessa ever. Hell nah, it's too much money for my blood.
Yeah, it was too much money, but it was a great idea, but
Yeah,
obviously the
poor
execution was
bitch.
major fail. Hey, and he looked like a chump in that Netflix doc, man. He looked weak. All the girls he was trying to cuddle up next to were like, "Let's go." He's weird.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like Ja Rule doesn't have that influence on the culture right now. Like 50 Cent is still making hits that he's
Because
not even
50
making.
killed him. Like 50 killed him. I understand it afterwards, you know, but Ja
50
still.
Cent made, what was that, vitamin water?
Try it.
Try it.
Vitamin, try it.
Yeah. He made money.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 was the GOAT though. 50 did kill a whole dude's career.
All right, well, that's pretty much the last of the docket. So we definitely have some play it by ears in the works. We've talked about a couple of showdowns. And then, Jock, I know you wanted to let people know about your latest Pierre-style clothing innovation, and, of course, the mask.
Yes, sir. So you guys can actually have a chance at winning a free mask with a business card if you listen to my instructions. So all you got to do is go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and comment, but not like some little bullshit ass comment like, "Oh, good job, guys," but like a real, actually, like feedback type comment. And then follow us on, our socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And then once you do that, go ahead and message us like in the DMs, like done. And then we're gonna choose like a random person to win. But you get to win one of these masks. They're pretty dope. They're actually made of recyclable parts. So it's made of recyclable cotton, recyclable polyester. You have adjustable ear straps. So it's saving the earth too. So if you want a free mask, go ahead and do that. I recommend it.
There you go. You can get more of Pierre-style clothing on the therep.network. All the merchandise is on there. We got Evolve gear on there. We also have a Chance for Texas black and white tees. Chance.
Yep.
Yup, with
Shout
my
out.
black.
Yeah.
So again, subscribe if you're not already, Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. Let us get a good custom URL. I'm tired of the question mark, $, exclamation. Nah, let us get the Rep Network. You know where to find us on
Lowercase y.
social. Check us out as always each week, coming at you Wednesdays, unless we make a mistake and don't record again.
Did
But
not
hey,
save it to the cloud.
I know, right?
check
Hey,
us out.
don't
next
at
week.
me.
Don't at me.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, that was a good one.